Hey everybody! Hopefully the GUI tutorial yesterday was very straightforward and went well. Today what we're going to look at is the ability to make a little bit fancier GUIs. We're going to start to find out how to support some images in the simplest way that I know how. Icons or images, whatever you want to call them. Which of course, if it's an icon and you want to make it clickable as a button, you can add an action listener to that. Just a thought. We're also going to look at how to use multiple panes on top of your J-frame. And kind of rotate through what's visible and what's not, also using action listeners and some logic. And that way you can start to develop like multi-screen menus and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you guys a coding example of something I just cooked up. It is kind of the simplest I could set up and get it to work basically. And then you guys can go on the web and check out some other tutorials out there for fancier things, which I will link out in just a couple minutes here. So getting started, let's see what I got here. Step one. I went ahead and just got a couple random photos and I popped those in the same source folder that I'm going to be working with for the rest of my code right here. Okay, so like I labeled them photo 0. Oh, isn't that cute? Photo 1. Oh, isn't that cute too? And photo 2. Oh, that's so extra cute. Okay, so I've got 3 random photos of kids or whatever, and they are in my same source folder right here. Again, naming is going to be convenient, and I made sure that they're all in the same directory. Why is that important, you might ask? Well, one of the things I did is I right-clicked on them, I got the path reference, I got the absolute file path, and I put all of it except the file name right here as a constant string. Final means constant, not variable, right? So I made a string called path, and I saved the file path to the directory. That way, later on, I can say path plus photo 0. Path plus photo 1, path plus photo 2. You see how I made that real easy on myself to reference those? Ooh, dang, IntelliJ's even got a mouse over. That's cool. Okay, so that was one kind of new thing is we're going to throw some images into your folder here. And those someday far in the future should all get bundled together with the executable file so this thing keeps track of where its information is. Other thing, I did the same stuff I did yesterday. Since I pre-coded this, I went ahead and kind of annotated a little bit more. So I built a frame. On top of the frame, I built 3 different panels. That's new for today. Not just building one panel, I built 3. I put some buttons. I'm going to put these buttons on the frame along with the title instead of on the panels, since I'm going to be hiding and moving panels around. I think you can also put a panel on a panel. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be putting them on the frame or not, but it seems to be working. So let's go with it. Let's take a look at here. Here, I cut and paste my code from an action listener. And then what I did is inside there, I said, okay, if the 0th panel is visible and somebody hits next, see that's my forward button, somebody hits next, what I want to do is hide that panel, hide panel 0, and instead show panel 1. Or if panel 1's visible, go ahead and hide panel 1, show panel 2. Else, third possibility is panel 2 is showing, in which case I want to switch it back to panel 0. This will navigate forward through the different panes. I have a backwards button with some backwards logic of that. So this way I'm cycling through stuff backwards. And yeah, so pretty much all same as yesterday. Same thing at the end. I add the images to the panels. I add the panels to the frame. I also added the buttons and title to the frame. And last step, I set the frame visible. Okay, now what's new today is that you can use a label, a J label, to actually just be an icon or be an image. So easiest way to just pop an image in your thing is to use this command line here. Take the name of your image once it's been constructed and set the icon to be a new image icon. And then that argument is the file path. Okay, so that line of code there, super handy. And when I run all of this, let's see what it looks like. Now, one thing I need to fix is I am working without the layout manager, right? I'm doing all this hand-coded just because I wanted it to be fully transparent and simple. And so one thing that's annoying is the pixels of my images in no way match up with the pixels of the space that I carved out. So I could either go into an image editing tool and make sure that all my images are the right size from the start, or we'd have to switch over to the swing method of development and try to get a resizable GUI going, which I tinkered with yesterday. I was having a hard time with. If anybody figures that out before I do, let me know. But here we go. It is replacing panes. So that's panel 0, here's panel 1, here's panel 2 or whatever. And I can cycle through one way, I can also cycle through the opposite direction there. So that's kind of the GUI we built. you could add a lot more functionality to this. By the way, this section right here is the actual frame, and the panels are set up to go below that. So of course, one thing I did that I want to mention that we should have done yesterday as well is, yep, I definitely storyboarded this out. I said it's going to be 1,000 by 1,000, and then put the panels right about here, all three of them in the same spot. Put my buttons here, my title here, my buttons here, and I thought through the coordinates for all of that. I tinkered with it too to just make sure it looked good and tweaked a couple values here and there. All right, so that is the basic idea for today. I want you guys to spend the entire day tinkering with GUIs, make something really cool, turn it in whatever it is that you make, and hopefully you guys have multiple panels showing up. Oops, sorry about the green screen. Yeah, hopefully you have multiple panels, are starting to incorporate some images, are understanding at least how to reference an absolute file path. We'll work on relative file paths later. And are maybe even playing around with some of the things like the radio buttons or whatever. So hopefully turn something cool in by the end of the day, and have a great happy Friday. And that is it. Check out, by the way, if you get done coding, also check out some of the tutorials that I'm going to link to. I'm going to scout out a couple good ones with some more advanced GUI designs. All right, bye everyone.